Yep.
That's
That's really weird.
that's 5 levels of special.
Yeah. All right. Well, it seems like we've gone live now, so I guess welcome to the week delayed episode 8 of Death of the Roguelike. I'm Rob Parker, and with me, as always, is Harrison Massey.
Hello.
Please excuse my horribly sick-sounding voice. I delayed episode. Oh God! There we go. All right.
Yeah, you actually sound all right on my end.
Oh, that's good. I have been feeling like complete garbage for the better part of a week. So, actually, for an entire week, I was just starting to come down with it last Thursday. I was like, I need to not do something tonight and just chill. But yeah, at this point, like I need to do something about it rather than just hope this goes away, because I need to get back to being somewhat useful. I need to not do something tonight and just I just want to check the levels on. But yeah, at this point, like I need to do something on the music. Just hope this goes away. So I let it come back out for a little bit. Okay, that's not too bad. Yeah. So I guess, yeah, we'll try to keep this kind of shortish. We've got a few 7-day roguelike entries, and some of them I think overlapped with Procedural Death Jam as well. But the first one that I really wanted to check out is Crime Central from Worthless Bums, who's also the person behind Steam Marines on Steam, which is like a squad-based kind of tactical kind of thing. This is deafening music. So I'm gonna have those off for a second. It sounds like it's not coming through on the stream as loud as it is on my headphones, but God.
Yeah, I can hear it through your mic.
Yeah, that's true.
Press L to toggle the law.
Yeah, so if you press L, it brings up just the commands. Because I had a notepad open earlier where I really wish there was some way to mute this. Okay, I wonder if I can just...
Are you on Windows, right? Could you just hit the mixer?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Because holy cripes. And for some reason... System sounds... Oh, there it is.
System sounds are the best.
Alright, there we go. The kickin' soundtrack is fantastic, but I gotta... Okay. So yeah, if you press L to bring up the law, it just brings up, like, basically the commands. So I can sprint... It's essentially Judge Dredd the roguelike, which I think is really kind of cool.
There's a lot of prisoners there in front of you.
And the exit's right here, which is interesting, but... So turning is free in this game, which is you're not always able to turn for free. You have ammo, and then there's also your health, and then bullhorns, where you can call for prisoners to surrender, and then you can arrest them. I have not gotten far in this. So there's no strafing, which is kind of an interesting choice.
If turning's free, it doesn't matter that much.
Yeah, really, it doesn't. It's just a matter of the snapping of the perspective as I turn is a little bit crazy. Like it's not really crazy, but it's just it takes a bit of getting used to. It's very easy to kind of get lost because of the textures. But so yeah, I'm gonna bullhorn. So all of the 12 enemies are surrendering, but I only have enough time to kind of arrest a few of them, and then these guys are all back ready to jack me with their knives. So I'm going to shoot this guy.
So arresting people restores health.
Yes, I had not noticed that, but yes. And then, so I can't if this guy is not surrendering, I can't arrest him. So I either have to shoot him, or I'm just putting the law away, or I have to use my bullhorn. So I'm trying to use my bullhorn again. And then arrest. And I moved into an attack, and it's just this assault. Sentence is death. bullhorn plus kill to confiscate ammo. So I don't have any bullhorns left, so I can.
So you can't. So you can't arrest him. You have to kill that guy.
I think because he's attacked me, yes. So yeah. Oh, there we go. Now I have a bullhorn for some reason.
Because you get a bullhorn whenever you get 3 kills.
Okay. Oh, that makes sense.
So I guess you're because you're intimidating them.
Yeah.
I feel a little I feel a little weird about this. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
The only part that made me kind of okay with it was the general Judge Dredd part of it, where I was just like,
well, it's like very. I don't know, like there's this weird police brutality narrative here that's
yes,
kind of, but like if it were like a Drudge Dredd or a RoboCop type thing where it was like kind of morally ambiguous.
yeah, I think part of where RoboCop and Judge Dredd are able to kind of stand is by having these larger contexts where they frame the violence, but in this case, it does wind up treading on this weird kind of like prison architect territory where we're kind of creating those systems, but then also not necessarily challenging them in any kind of way.
I realize I don't know. I realize it might be hard to challenge the the prison industrial complex in 7 days, but I'm not sure there was really even an attempt here.
Yeah, no, that's true. Again, it may get farther into it. You kill gang member for 0, so.
Oh gosh, it's like the Dark Souls ending.
Yeah, you died. So it has
Okay,
zero lawful victories and 5 unlawful deaths.
They say you have education mode and pacification mode.
So pacification just leaves the game. It seems like the main menu is they at least like created a bit of context in terms of essentially
asteroid cloud.
Yeah, inmates have access to guard armaments and armors.
So it's space prison.
Yeah, basically.
But
confiscate and reacquisition all ammunition found. Yeah, that's a good point though in terms of how much do we look at these like game jam games and then also question sort of what does this do on like a systemic level, what does this do and like sort of when it starts creating meaning out of these things, what is this generally saying if it's just glorifying brutality.
Yeah, or are we working towards something more because this is a version 0.2? It's hard to say. And but then you've got game jams that work toward a cause. This is more like just hey, they'll just make it.
Yeah.
Like a
hey, I like Judge Dredd, and let's do this. Which the Judge Dredd 3D, they definitely didn't do an awful lot of work in like that recent Judge Dredd movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I heard it was actually.
Was just if you go into it expecting essentially that he's just going to be this terrible monster kind of just going into this area and murdering a bunch of people, like it's surprisingly all right. It's far better than the Sylvester Stallone one where they tried to make him into a hero. Like they really don't.
Anything is better than Sylvester Stallone, Judge Dredd, but we're not going to go.
Yeah. As far as something that was put together in 7 days, this is I'm impressed, and I would like it'd be kind of cool to see this get further complexity, but given that they're currently working on Steam Marines, I feel like this was just kind of a almost fan fiction-y kind of approach.
So, side note, by the way, do you know what Sylvester Stallone's mother does?
No.
She is a fortune teller.
Really?
And for $200, you can send her a photo of your butt,
All right.
You will use it to tell your fortune. It's called rumpology.
Uh, all right.
Little.
I'm in the wrong industry.
Yeah, yeah.
I have made poor life decisions when it comes to
Like,
career choices.
why are we in grad school
Why?
when we could be making $200 looking at butts?
That is a question I ask myself every single day I get up in the morning. It's like, why did I think this was a good idea? Oh, right, because I was really bored one day. Yeah, especially as
it wasn't youthful idealism for you. Oh, you were just bored.
I'd already gotten a master's,
Uh,
so this
so,
is
so it's like, what am I going to do today?
this
I'm
is
going to get another master's. That sounds or PhD or are you going for your PhD?
no,
We
no,
never had
nope.
this discussion
Yeah,
actually.
yeah, no power on this earth will ever get me into a PhD. If you ever hear that I'm in a PhD program, something has gone real sideways with my life.
Or it's not you.
And I've literally lost any reason to like care about things outside of school. No, I know how I get when I wind up going down that dark path of like writing papers and stuff, and I would probably not be married if that were the case, and I would have probably alienated M much like far sooner than yeah. So yeah, no power on this earth. Like I have all the respect in the world for people that are going out and doing the PhD thing, but man,
Yeah.
that's a spiritually
I am impressed.
damaging thing.
I am impressed that you're getting a second master's because I'm almost done with this first one. I am just ready to be done.
Yeah,
It's been a good experience, but
yeah.
can you hear my partner?
I'm not able to make out the individual words, but
Um, that's probably for the best.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
it's particularly telling that like Emily lived in a different city when I was doing my first master's, and so I would leave her place on a Sunday, and then she would call me on like the Thursday and be like, are you still alive? I have not heard from you at all."
uh,
And so it would just be like I would just be not living any kind of healthy lifestyle at all, and yeah, I don't know. Like I know Jason Harlach just got his PhD, and I did like when I was doing my master's, he was going through that at the same time, and he rolled directly into his PhD. And I have all the respect in the world for that guy because he makes it look damn easy. And yeah, and anybody who's fighting that stuff, like you know, you have to take care of yourself first, and that's the biggest lesson that I've taken out of grad school is just you can't just muscle through. You have to make those because no one is going to no one is going to step in and say, hey, you should probably take a break or you should
right.
st-
They're just gonna say, hey, how's the
yeah,
paper coming?
where's that proposal?
Yeah.
Why don't I have that proposal yet? It's like no.
Yeah.
So
All
anyways,
right. Anyway, on a happier note,
yeah, on a happy note, Crime Central, police brutality. It's pretty neat. Like
yeah, it looks fun. It's fun, but
yeah,
I don't know. I just question the narrative here.
yeah.
That's my this is an academic show.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And
And I might have been blinded a little bit because part of the graphics reminded me of Blake Stone, which is also, if you were to look at, oh god, look at very problematic stories. Blake Stone is kind of that emblematic of that like mid '90s. Don't ask why, just murder all these people. Although occasionally you get chewed out if you would if you take out a scientist or an informant. Anyways, I'm gonna.
Unreal Tournament 2004 was always my go-to for mindless brutality.
Yeah.
That or Bulletstorm. Bulletstorm's pretty fun.
Yeah, I haven't finished Bulletstorm, but
Neither have I, but it's been good so far. It's a little it feels like it's trying to challenge a narrative and not doing a fantastic job of it. And I am seeing just straight white
yeah.
over here.
Oh, you're not seeing anything?
No.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
This was made in Game Maker. This is the Littlest Princess
Yeah, Game Maker games don't seem to work real well with the
with the screen sharing stuff, or
yeah. Let's give a very odd a look and
yeah, okay. Um,
back to this
Yeah,
another time.
yeah, Littlest Princess. Yeah, okay, yeah, good point. It's not even showing up at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, Littlest Princess is kind of neat though. If you get a chance to check it out, it's you can see right there. Um, it was made by Joe.
But you don't have to take my word for it.
Yeah, yeah, you can go and play this stuff and then don't have to worry about it. Wait a second. There we go. There we go. I turned off the music for Variablo, but this one seemed really, really neat. But yeah, The Littlest Princess, I guess, it was interesting to me from... They incorporated almost like an arcade sort of aspect to it, so you could go through the edge of the screen and go back around, and there would be a ghost kind of following you around, and then you can create and destroy walls and freeze the little elves that are running around. But it's kind of very much targeted at like more of a casual or younger audience.
Well, yeah. It said he made it for his daughters, right?
Yeah, or nieces, I think.
Nieces.
Yeah, and it was, I don't know, it was like a really little kind of interesting. There's some kind of interesting strategic choices you could make with it. It's kind of neat to see a game that was not all about hack and slash stuff. I don't know. It seemed kind of cool. So this is Variablo. The Mad Wizard Variablo has captured you, Mordecai. Escape this maze. Use the WASD or arrow keys to move.
Yeah.
So you're this. Oh, yeah. Do you want to?
Yeah. So this is kind of it's supposed to be more or less a roguelike meets Mastermind. If you've ever played that. Do you know what do you know Mastermind?
I don't think I've played Mastermind.
So it's this game. You have basically all these little colored pegs, and one person like picks four of them, and says, "All right, guess my code." So you make a guess at it, and then they tell you how many you have in the exact correct place, and how many you have in the correct color but the wrong place, and then based on that, you keep making guesses until you get it right or you run out of turns. So each room on each level has a place it is supposed to go. The green, and then you get I think it's a green outline if it's in the correct place.
Yeah. So right
then,
here,
and then you get a yellow outline if you have a room in a place where a room should go, but you don't have the right room there.
Okay.
And then, so you can move the rooms around and like pick up the items that are there and like get improved attack and stuff. But every time you move a room, monster spawns.
Okay, so that would explain why I'm getting mobbed here and just kind of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because you keep slip shifting that room around. Good job.
Yeah.
So it kind of captures that spirit while being kind of while also being a roguelike.
Yeah.
So it's like a roguelike plus puzzle game. I really liked what I played of it.
Yeah, this definitely seems like. Oh, there we go. Stop it. Yeah, so I'm stuck there, but at least I know that that's where that goes.
Yeah.
But I can go over here or over there. Okay. All right. And now I'm getting mashed. But...
Yeah. So not only do you have the puzzle aspect, but you also have to make a trade-off between number of moves you've made and like getting all the items. So you have a risk versus reward element. You have a puzzle element, and you have a running around and hitting things in the face element.
Yeah,
it's really brilliant. Probably one of my favorite things that I've seen so far out of 7 Day Roguelike.
Yeah, this is. I only kind of fiddled with it for like the 5 minutes before we started the show because part of my rule is trying to do as little preparation as possible.
Is that a rule or just what happens?
No, it's a deliberate thing because if I try to prepare, I go overboard and then I'm like, it stops being fun at a certain point. Like I stop discovering stuff. I'm just kind of, oh god,
Like
oh
the
man. Okay, so this game just completely blew my mind that I'm moving out and around like preset room areas and I'm getting. I'm making very poor decisions right now because I'm
you
just.
probably don't want to go anywhere near that island in the middle.
Yeah. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, this is really cool. I wonder if they're gonna make. It was only made in 2.5 days. I wonder if they're gonna build this out into something.
I don't know. It's a really complete game as it stands.
Oh yeah, totally. Uh, oh, there are standalone downloads there. Okay, so that's cool. Huh. Um,
That's
yeah,
part of the beauty of Unity is you can just kind of do the web player. You can,
yeah, exactly.
the tutorials are kind of not great though. I was fiddling with it. I fiddled with it a few times, and uh, you cannot learn to use Unity and make a game in it in
Yeah.
7 days.
So I gave a talk a couple weekends ago, um,
Yeah,
at the university. So I gave a talk about Twine. I'm part of the Games Institute at the University of Waterloo, and this was a game jam that was put together primarily by the engineering, like people within the engineering department. And this is kind of the first time that like we'd sort of had a lot of moments where we were all working, like where the humanities students were crossing over and kind of working with the engineering department. So it was kind of it was an interesting experience because like in part they kind of showed up and said like you guys don't know how to do game jams because you're not making people program, um, which was fine. Like it was kind of like I totally get that. We did one last year where it was mostly just like design a game on paper, and it was kind of opening up to a much wider audience. But like I totally get where that perspective would come from, where you want people to try to make something. So we had one of the instructors within the English department give a talk, and he gave a talk about board games and was talking about like paper crafting and kind of doing iteration that did not require code knowledge or anything like that. And some of the talks were really, really fascinating, and they kind of gave me, a general sense of how things work in Unity. But there were a couple of talks where it was like, do all this stuff, and then, then go and learn how to code for a few hours, and then come back and then make this game.
Right.
So
Sorry.
I did mine on Twine, which was that was like it was kind of weird because there were a lot of people that were like there were a few engineers that kind of showed up and were just like, so where do we put the code in? And I was like, okay, well, this is probably not for you if that's really what you want to do, but hey, there is a whole JavaScript field, and if you want to go, this is pretty extensible. Like if you want to go and go hog wild with it, like absolutely. Yeah. I'm the crazy person who's trying to get Oculus Rift support in there, so.
Yeah, it was didn't Porpentine have and someone else do some sort of wild multiplayer thing using Twine and JavaScript extensions?
Maybe
it was a while ago. It was like a year. I don't remember the name of it, but it was.
There was kind of like an asynchronous. I think Merit Copas did an asynchronous, like take this pill every day or something like that.
This was like some sort of economic thing where you could. Like you could leave something behind, and then another player could come by and pick it up.
Oh, I'll have to look into that actually.
Yeah, I don't remember. I can't remember the title for the life of me. Just do some searching here. And we need to get off before you. We should probably end soon before you.
Before I basically just keel over. Or actually, I've just been trying to stop from coughing in most instances, which is not really what you want to do. You probably want to get that stuff out of your system. But the talk went well. There was a lot of people kind of just asking a lot of questions, so I wasn't able to kind of do an object lesson where it was just like, hey, here's the thing, like, make this thing. It was more just, here are the features of this thing, of this platform, and if you want to do this, this is what you can do. Here are a bunch of resources. And throughout it, I was getting a lot of really interesting, like fascinating responses from people who have a very, very narrow view of what it means to go and develop a game. But then there was one attendee that they spent the entire time just working on a game. And so at the end, they were like, oh, I'm running into a couple problems. Can I ask you a few questions? And so at the end of it, like, they had this working kind of thing that they were able to go and build on the next week when they were actually having their huge make event. So, obviously I wasn't as well attended as say, like, we're going to show you how to make Unity stuff and, like, make apps and whatnot. But that wasn't really the point for me. It was just like, hey, if I get one person who's interested in playing around with this, then that's kind of a win for me. So
nice. Yeah, the game I was talking about before, by the way, it's called Naked Shades by Andy McClure and Porpentine.
Huh. All right.
It was for Ludum Dare 26.
Oh, great. Okay, cool. I'll have to check that out. And the rest of the time has been spent rewriting my MRP proposal because Oculus Rift got bought by Facebook, and that. On the one hand, I was like, great, this is great for people who want to write about the Oculus Rift. It just means that a lot of the stuff that I had written before is kind of not quite... that context has changed pretty dramatically.
Yeah.
Which is something I knew going into it, that I'm writing about. Something that is very much a living piece of technology that is going to change a bunch. So there's been a lot of, like, not being able to focus on this, and a lot of having to go and read a whole bunch of theorists. So,
yay.
Yeah. It's a shame the Littlest Princess didn't work, but
yeah, I mean, you can figure it out for next week.
Yeah, or something. Yeah, I've got Aaron on tap to do WazHack at some point, but maybe I'll coerce him into setting aside some non-Vita time, and he and I'll play through some of the multiplayer on that, because that seems the multiplayer for WazHack is kind of crazy. Because it's like co-op. It's really weird, but it's still turn-based. So you have two separate instances, and you just see the outline of the other person as they run through the game, but it's still turn-based on your end. But you can still trade stuff if you find items. I don't know. It's pretty crazy. Anyways, all right. Thank you for joining us, if you did indeed join us.
It actually doesn't look like anyone did.
Oh, well.
Yeah, it'll go up on YouTube.
It's not for them, it's for us. I should actually start posting that stuff to the blog, because I've been derelict in that. But at the very least, like, one thing I've started doing is just after I finish, or I go and eat dinner, and then I export it to YouTube, rather than wait on that, because sometimes Twitch gets real wonky about that. So, anyways, have a good evening, everybody, and may your deaths be not as permanent, or at least, I don't know, don't get what I have.
Don't be robbed.
Yeah, don't be me, if at all possible. Stay out of school.
All right.
Take care.
Bye.